Good day. Today we are going to do summary writing. And guess what? This is a skill you already have. I'm Mrs. Smart and I'm going to take you through today's lesson. Now, a summary is simply this. If I ask you, what did you do yesterday? Or tell me about something important that happened. You don't tell me every little detail. You give me the highlights. And that is what a summary is about. You are going to give me the highlights, the most important points. Let's pretend it's the weekend. Now, you write down at least 4 activities you participated in. Think about it. If it was the weekend, you would be able to write down as they happened. I have written some down that we're going to use as an example. Point 1. I played a soccer match against my brother's school on Saturday. Point 2. My cousins came to visit us for the day. 3. We watched the final game of the World Cup together. And 4. My friends and I went to church on Sunday. Now, if you look at this, you will see that there are 39 words. Now, we're going to use this very easy example to get started, because what we want to do with the summary is to write what happened, the most important things, the highlights, in as few words as possible. So we're going to use that example, and in those exact points, you're going to rewrite these sentences in point form using no more than 20 words. And remember, it's got to make sense. It has to be full sentences. You can't just write keywords and think, oh, well, that's good enough. You haven't captured the most important elements. We now have 20 words and we have 4 points. So with a little bit of maths, you figure out, that's 5 words per point. So if I use more than 5 on one, I have to somehow steal it back elsewhere, which means that if I use 6 on one, somewhere there's going to be a point that I'm going to only have 4 words available. I've highlighted the most important things that we need to know so that we know that is the element that we need to capture. That's the most important thing that happened. I played a soccer match. Point 2 was my cousins came to visit. 3, we watched the final game. And 4, my friends and I went to church. Now remember, we did pronouns, and in pronouns you can replace some of these words with a pronoun. My cousins, you could say they, or it could even be we if you're included. My friends and I could be we. We went to church. So let's look how easy it is to capture this. And remember, when you do the quiz, you're going to have to select the shortest, most accurate summary that there is for the sentences provided. So what would we say here? I played a soccer match. My cousins came to visit. We watched the final game together. And how could you shorten that even more? Yes, you could have said we watched the final together. And then point 4, we went to church. And there we have our 20 words. You will notice that there are 2 diagonal lines that have been drawn there, and those lines are there to show you that that is where you've reached the maximum number of words. Now, your instructions will guide you to do the correct format. In other words, it's going to tell you we want a point form summary, or we want so many facts, or what the topic is. And I've put in an example of an instruction sheet here. I apologize for it being from a past matric paper, but I want you to see what it looks like. It gives you a topic, and then it tells you to read and list 7 points, and you'll see that there's a topic supplied. Your summary must be written in point form. You must list your 7 points in full sentences using no more than 70 words for matric, but obviously yours will differ. You will number your sentences. You will write only 1 point per sentence. If you write more than 1 point, what will happen is that you will find that you will be penalized because you will only get a mark for the first point. So please make sure that you don't make that mistake. You have to use your own words as far as possible. And now I'm going to contradict myself, and I'm going to ask you to please make sure that you rather lift if you don't get it right, because sometimes you mix the facts up when you decide to use your own words. So please be careful of that. And you must indicate the number of words used at the end of the summary, and that includes the and a. Determiners are part of the word count, so please don't forget that, because I've had questions of, so do I count a or the? Of course you do, they are words. And then you indicate the number, in other words, you add it up at the end. Make sure if it's a hyphenated word, it counts as one word. Now you will read your instructions carefully before you start your summary. Read your passage very carefully and underline and number all the relevant facts. Now these are just some instructions I'm giving you at this stage. They don't mean much to you because you don't have an actual summary you're working through. You will do a point form summary before you attempt the paragraph form summary, and that is if you are doing home language. Please look at your instruction and you write from margin to margin. Remember that if you go over the word count, the marker will only mark up to where the word count ends. I'll explain to you about the little bit of a twist in the rule later on when we do another lesson, but right now that is all you need to know. And then you remember what I always say? I tell you, practice makes perfect. You will click on the link below to complete the exercise, and there you are going to select the best possible, shortest possible summary for the statement supplied. Make sure that you get that right. Make sure that you do it. I'm looking forward to seeing your responses. Think carefully. There might be some little, what we call a red herring in between with the errors that shouldn't be there. Maybe grammatical errors just to draw you off the track a little bit. But be careful and look out for that. Then, there you have your QR code. Good luck with the quiz, and I wish you all the best. Keep safe.